Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. And what that means is it is money that has no physical form. There is no way to hold a bag of Bitcoin. All you can do is exchange it online. So let's go look at this. Let me show you real quick. And then I have a client in a few minutes. But in order to understand what Bitcoin is, you also need to know what it isn't. It has nothing to do with websites or SEO or running YouTube channels or anything. It is actual money. So there's fiat money, which you can hold in your hand and is a currency of a country. But there is Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency, which means it exists in codes and patterns online. And you can put it and use it on something like this. So you get some Bitcoin. You make your Bitcoin, whatever, you get a BitPay card or something like it. There's one, I can't remember what it's called, for Coinbase, which is a wallet. So let's explain how that works real quick, because when you have money, you have a wallet and you put the money in the wallet. But when you have no physical money, here's my fiat money, $1. When you have no money, you got to still keep it in a wallet, but your wallet is just an account online. So if you think of it like when you go into the bank and you look up your bank account and they scribble some numbers or they give you a receipt with a number on it, you could ask them to take that money out. But as it stands right now, that money is back somewhere, but it is just a bunch of digits, right? Right. Okay. So let's go over here. Take Zoom off, take calendar off, take testimonials off. There we go. So you were talking about Bitcoin, but what I was talking about is that there are cryptocurrencies. So look at this. Now don't get freaked out, but these are all different cryptocurrencies. Mostly you don't use all of these. The top two are Bitcoin. So look, this is even a US dollar, but it's a bit stamp. And some of these, Monero is kind of coming up, but I don't really use it yet. The two that you want to watch out for are, let's find them, Ether or Ethereum, Ether, which I have a whopping $15, and that's because I'm doing mining. So we should probably talk about what mining is too. But Ether, and Bitcoin. And I showed you this coin payments one because it has all of them in here. Some of them are used only for certain things. Let me see. Like game credits, perhaps, would be only for, I don't know, playing games online, where you take your money, you say, I'm going to change this into Bitcoin. Right now, one Bitcoin, let me see, is it showing me? One Bitcoin is 2,300. I just had that up, so let's go look. Bitcoin value right now. Bitcoin is $2,442. Actually, it went up in about the last hour since I last reported on this. So if you have one Bitcoin, that is worth 2,442 US dollars. So if I hold one Bitcoin in my wallet, that is worth $2,442. So what happens is, let's say I buy half a Bitcoin, and this is where people sometimes get confused because you see a one and you think like $1. That's not what it is. Bitcoin changes in value a lot. So half a Bitcoin, let's just say it's 1221, and you buy that today. But then let's say the value of Bitcoin goes up, and then let's just say then the price of Bitcoin, which means people coming in and want to buy Bitcoin or exchange it, they're now going to exchange it, let's say, for 34.42 or whatever. Your 0.5 is now worth more than the 12.21 that you bought it for. You have more money. You have a new exchange rate, which would be what, 17.21. So you look how much money you made just by sitting there and having the Bitcoin rate go up. Bitcoin has gone up over the last couple of years. Like when I first started looking at it 2 years ago, it was about $200. And now I've seen it go up. As you can see, it's gone up almost to 3,000. It just nicked the 3,000 mark. So when you have a Bitcoin, you have a digital currency that is worth a certain amount of money that will translate to dollars. The way you get it to translate between dollars is you have to buy the Bitcoin, or another way of saying it is you have to exchange it. You have to exchange it for your dollars for Bitcoin and Bitcoin for dollars. And the place you do that are called the Bitcoin wallets. So Bitcoin wallets are your online places to keep your Bitcoin. The best ones are blockchain and coin payments right now. Blockchain and coin payments. Zappa was fine. Zappa's fine. I used to really, really love Coinbase. However, Coinbase, one of the problems is, here's one thing that Bitcoin is not. It is not regulated. And some countries don't even recognize it as currency. However, the daily exchange of Bitcoin is so high. Daily Bitcoin, let's see if we can get it. Exchange volume. So it's so high, like people buying Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin and using Bitcoin. Let's see. Let's just see if we can get some information. So what it is essentially is stock trade, basically. So here we go. On the trade volume was, oh, it's off the screen. Those are in the millions. $132 million was traded on May 16th of this year. And then you'll see 195 million. But look back here, like at the beginning of, was that 68 million at the beginning of, actually that's a year ago. So about a year ago. So the trade volume is just going up, and then it kind of dwindled off, and then there was some spikes, you know. Last year, they had something called the Bitcoin, they halved it. So how many ever Bitcoin were on the market, they cut that in half. And then that kind of does some stuff to the amount of volume that they can actually exchange. So this is, you know, the layman's explanation, but think of it as kind of stock market trading. So you put money in, and chances are you're basically investing. Let's see, all time. I wonder what that's going to show us. Ooh, so you'll notice like there was no volume in 2009, and then in 2013, some volume, and then there was some kind of big spikes, but you'll notice it's just going up and up. Bitcoin is supposed to just keep going up and up. It actually took a dip today, but the dip was from like, you know, it was around 2,700 last week, and now it's at 2,400 again. So having one Bitcoin or two or 10 is, it's a risk because it could crash, but right now it just keeps going, getting better and better. I mean, if you looked at, let's see if we can see the average logarithm. Let me see if we can do average daily exchange. No. Average daily price. Okay. Let's look at that real quick. So right now, see, even since we've been talking, I think it went up because we're not at 4.4 and now it's at 6.4. So it's changing constantly. That's one of the things. And then there's these people who are called miners, the Bitcoin miners and the Ethereum miners. And what they do is when someone has a transaction, I, person A, want to send Bitcoin to somebody else, it has to go through the series of transactions to be confirmed. And there's a fee that is involved with that. So there's a little tiny fee. It usually translates to a couple dollars, and then the miner gets to keep that. And what happens is the miner has stacks and stacks and stacks of computer machines that just run and crunch numbers, and it takes a lot of electricity. So there's these giant minefields, or mining farms, not minefields, mining farms, where a company will own just hundreds and thousands of machines that run these numbers so that these transactions can be confirmed. They're all confirmed. Sometimes it takes a couple hours, sometimes it takes a couple days, depending on the volume. I mean, if there's like billions of dollars being traded, then that's going to take a long time for each one of those to get a minimum of 3 confirmations each. And usually they come back with like 60 or 100 confirmations that they've gone through. So, what was my point? My point was you need a wallet, and blockchain and coin payments seem to be really good right now. Coinbase is good for buying Bitcoin, but like I was saying, since it's not regulated, one thing that can happen is, I gotta check my time. It's time to go. One thing that can happen is that a company who owns a wallet can decide that they no longer want you to be trading that because they're going to lose money. So if you bought Bitcoin at $3, let's say, and then the next day it like skyrockets to 1,000, and now say you had one Bitcoin that was worth $3, now your one Bitcoin is worth 1,000, and then you want to take that 1,000 out, now they're going to lose money, so they shut down all transactions, and then they put up something that says we're doing maintenance. They can do that because there's no regulation. Anyway, that is my very short explanation on what Bitcoin is. Ask me questions and we'll go over them again on the next one. Bye.